On the 3rd of November 2006, Class of 3000 premiered on Cartoon Network with a whole load of pomp and circumstance. I remember 9-year-old me was so enamored with the show's glitz and glamour. The episode was framed around a mock red carpet party, and it all felt as special as they made it out to be. There was something about this new show, Class of 3000, that wasn't on the same pedigree of its peers. After all, no other cartoon on the same plane had a celebrity who not only endorsed the series but was credited as a creator. Class of 3000 was appropriately the brainchild of Andre Benjamin, better known in the world of music as Andre 3000 of Outkast fame. And you may ask, so what? A lot of cartoons are directly tied to celebrities, and those are usually lame. It's a marketing tactic that died in the 90s. Was Class of 3000 any different? And this is a question I feel is answered within the first few moments of Class of 3000's first episode. The series opens focused on the music superstar Sonny Bridges, voiced and clearly modeled after Andre. As Bridges prepares for a massive concert on stage, the pressure and vapidity of stardom dawns on him, and on the spot, he announces his retirement. The disgraced singer retreats to Atlanta, Georgia, where he comes across a performing arts class of passionate young musicians at risk of losing their livelihood when their school is dispositioned to cut its music program. Seeing his new calling, Sonny offers to become their new teacher and commits his life to instructing and enriching his new Class of 3000. The character of Sonny Bridges is just as passionate and endearing as we like to believe our favorite celebrities are. At the risk of going off on a tangent, Andre has expressed very similar frustrations and cynical views on the industry of music as Sonny does. He'd been known to very deceptively slip sort of hidden meanings into his upbeat dance music. I think the depression Sonny feels about being famous is one very genuinely felt by Andre. I think teaching the Class of 3000 is something of a wish fulfillment for him. Despite its more down-to-earth premise, Class of 3000 was as zany and bombastic as they come. Even if it might come as a surprise that a struggling music class has to come face-to-face with toxic blobs, deadly gorillas, and Satan himself, the show was stylish with its own flair. Stories told were simple, but sort of harkened to different eras, even if the setting was just modest present-day southern USA. Episodes like The Devil and Little D are reminiscent of folk tales, downright Aesopian in nature, as well as honest about the realities of fame, while Eddie's Money takes a surprising stance on privilege and out-of-touch art that resonates to this day. The writing of the show is downright hilarious to boot. When Cartoon Network cartoons were primarily known for slapstick and edgy gut-punch humor, Class of 3000 had a dry, character-based wit that stood out, blended with just the right amount of wackiness. Even as a kid, before I could ever articulate why, I laughed aloud at this show in a way I simply didn't at others. But the real bread and butter of the show that made it stand out was the music. Every episode had a fully unique song with its own sequence of a music video, and these were usually the highlight of the show. Songs in a cartoon were far from unheard of, sure, but Class of 3000 covered a completely different genre every week. Fight the Blob is a harmonic funk beat, We Want Your Soul is a haunting number that combines rap and rock, Luna Love is a romantic flamenco ballad. Not every song is wildly complex or even all that noteworthy in the grand scheme, but considering they worked one into every episode, I think it's impressive we got what we did. And when the show transitioned into song, the animation with it would change into something entirely different. And it was these songs that helped us truly understand how the characters felt at that point in the story. Common criticism of musical media is that characters would never, within reason, drop what they're doing just to sing, causing the genre as a whole to ask for a good deal of suspension of disbelief. But it is true that songs are often a vehicle for expressing strong emotions and perspectives in a way that's entertaining and easy to swallow. The same is true for the songs of Class of 3000, but the difference lies in the fact that the cast is composed of music students, meaning it's entirely within character and often within reason to sing a song, not just to express oneself, but to solve a problem or resolve a conflict, all while exploring different genres and animation styles. The songs aren't just an extra set of bells and whistles, they often integrate directly into the plot, and that makes the music of the show hold so much more emotional resonance. Take the episode Free Philly, in which the mechanical genius of the class, Philly Phil, finally drives his classmates over the edge with his harebrained inventions, causing them to lash out at him. His classmates realize their mistake and craft an apology in the form of the song Philly Come Home. Despite being a rather simple song, it speaks volumes to the meaning that the story wants to convey. And I think this comes off as such a sincere apology because it's one only characters that are established musicians could deliver personally. And I think it's this passion for music that's really the heart of the show. It's actually rather rare to see kids shows about young artists, especially within the medium of cartoons. These were kids that solved their problems with music, and these problems often stemmed from music. Class of 3000 gave us a show artists could really touch base with. Truly passionate adolescents using their music to fight, enchant, and celebrate. And there isn't much more that music is for. And with all these wonderful qualities in mind, it's hard not to get a little sad to think that Class of 3000 only endured for 28 episodes spread across 2 seasons. It's hard to say for sure what happened behind closed corporate doors, but I can't imagine a show with an elaborate musical number every single episode was all that lucrative to produce. And in an era where industry titans like Ben 10, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and Billy and Mandy were dominating, there just wasn't time for a show that cost so much to make and earned back just shy of enough. I'd be remiss not to mention some of the infamous legal issues that surrounded the show, but I feel it's overstepping the bounds of this video to assume a great deal on the information given to the public, nor would details of this controversy invalidate the work and talent of the outlying staff involved with the show in my eyes. It's somewhat disheartening to realize that Class of 3000 was perhaps prematurely done in by its own ambition, but at the same time, it's a little bit beautiful that we got this sort of lightning in a bottle, one-of-a-kind series that flashed by us just briefly like a shooting star. And I don't think there'll ever be anything quite like it again. And in an era where cartoons are being remade left and right, I don't know if that's such a bad thing, that this show's spirit will probably only live on through memory of its short life, where I like to think it inspired many young aspiring creators such as myself. I said earlier that this show was wish fulfillment on part of Andre 3000, who was disillusioned with being a music star at his own admittance and, as Sonny Bridges, wanted to enrich the same genuine love for art and youth that he once had. And I think he achieved that not just in the fictional world of Class of 3000, but to every kid, myself included, that tuned in to watch it.